Hello everyone, welcome to another JMPR miniature gaming unboxing. Today we're going to be looking at two of the new Marvel Crisis Protocol packs. We have Kingpin and Bullseye and Daredevil. Cannot wait to get these open. Kingpin is the leader of the crime syndicate, Bullseye is in the crime syndicate, Daredevil is I think he's got a couple of affiliations, Defenders, possibly Avengers? Definitely Defenders. We can have a little look and open them up. I'm going to do both packs in the same video today, just because Kingpin's only one model, and obviously we can take a look at the affiliation, the new affiliation, the Criminal Syndicate. So let's get them open. So let's start with Bullseye and Daredevil. Excellent piece of cardboard. So, as always, let's have a look at the instructions first. So, Bullseye there. Looks like he's 9 pieces. A couple of the whole hip pouches are a little bit smaller, but nothing crazy again. Daredevil. I see a lot of people not using the whip on the batons. Makes sense. But it doesn't look too complicated. Again, 9 pieces by the looks of it. No extra rules on that side. Come back to the cards later. Let's have a look at the sprues. So we have our Daredevil sprue there. Oh, that seems chunky enough. I have to get a little bit creative with the base. Having a gravestone in a street, it seems weird. Yeah, looks good. Head's in one piece, it's always nice to see. Bullseye's sprue there. Also looks pretty good. You can see his head has got the Bullseye symbol moulded in, which is good. Excellent. Right, so that's the models there. Obviously you get your 4 bases. We'll look at the cards in a minute. Let's take a look at Kingpin's instructions and sprue. The cardboard. Cards to one side. See how many pieces the big boy is. Nice little bit of comic artwork there. So 11 pieces. Just going by the numbers. I love the Kingpin pose. Definitely feel like he should have some blood on his knuckles. Yeah, awesome. Nice and simple build, which a lot of the chunkier models have been, to be fair. Couple of bases, and let's have a look at the sprue. Oh, he's sort of grumpy. Oh, that's cool. Hadn't realised that. Nelson and Murdoch sign. Oh, that's a nice touch. Yep, very nice. Right, let's get these guys put together. And here we are with the models all built. So, absolutely lovely to put together, as a lot of the recent AMG models are. The Crisis Protocol models are getting better and better in terms of construction and just general detail and everything. Kingpin. Absolutely beautiful. I love the Nelson and Murdoch sign on the floor. And just the creases in his coat and everything, just to make it really nice to shade, especially if you're going to do down the white colour scheme, which you have to, don't you, really? Maybe I'll give him the purple trousers from the cartoon. I think they were purple. Might be wrong. Bullseye, I wasn't sure on this sculpt originally. I was, and one of my mates said, oh, it looks a bit camp. But actually, you know, just the improvement of actually being able to turn the model around And I noticed he's got his throwing knives in his other hand. I just think it makes that model so much cooler. So yeah, definitely wasn't my favourite model. Like good sculpt, but not my favourite model. And then as I spun him around and saw the knives, I was like, actually, that's pretty cool. Just the little details just make the model. Same with Taskmaster. When I first saw the Taskmaster model, I wasn't particularly keen on the pose, but actually being able to just rotate him around and actually look at him from different angles, it makes it look a lot better. And DD, good old Matt here, my namesake. It's pretty awesome, to be fair. I'm not too worried about that cord. Transport is going to be a bit of a bother, but as long as you're careful. I'm definitely going to fill in the ground here with some grass and some dirt and make it just look like a gravestone in a field, rather, or like, not a field, in a cemetery, rather than in the middle of the street. I think I've seen someone do that on Facebook as well. So yeah, really easy to put together. I think Bullseye was probably the most fiddly, just because he had a couple of little belt bits, but that, you know, they're not, again, not compared to some of the previous models. So yeah, absolutely loving those. Can't wait to paint those up. Really nice details on the Bullseye's sort of, you know, bit that's engraved on his head, and Daredevil's, you know, D's are all engraved, so there's no freehanding needed. So card-wise, I'm going to start by looking at Bullseye and Daredevil. So we have our tokens. I really wish I could remember what all the tokens do. There's a cheat sheet available somewhere. I definitely need to print one of those off. Alright, so we have got, let's look at the tactics cards. Acute Senses. Unaffiliated, active. During a character activation, they spend 1 power to play this card. Enemies do not benefit from the stealth superpower, and this character ignores the line of sight when attacking this activation. I think that's actually a really good card. One, it's unaffiliated, so it's not just Daredevil that can use it. And the fact that you can ignore stealth and line of sight for 1 power, I think that's pretty big. Especially if you know, come looking at like Black Widow, Miles Morales, which tend to be objective grabbers and sort of grab and run. So yeah, I can see that being used. Not the most powerful of cards, but pretty useful in situations. Climbing Gear, I've seen a lot about this one online. Spend 3 power to play this card, gains the Warcrawler until the end of the round, and this character immediately advances small. And it's got Moon Knight on the card. Please give me a Moon Knight model soon. Please. Yeah, a decent, again, a good card. It lets you, you know, move over that terrain, and you get free advance. Well, it's not free, it's 3 power, so it seems expensive, but I think it's good. And we've got Cruelty. Criminal Syndicate. Twist the Knife attack. 5 range, 5 power. 5 strength and 0 power cost. Reactive. If an allied character damages an enemy character with an attack during its activation, after the attack is resolved, the attacking character may spend 2 power to play this card. The attacking character immediately performs the attack listed above, targeting the damaged character. This attack can only have dice added to the attack from crit results, and this character cannot modify its attack dice during this attack. Okay, so you hit someone, you don't quite finish them off, and then you just flip this round just to finish the job as such. 5 dice attack, only crits can add any extra dice, can't use any other bonuses, no rerolls. It's really just a last ditch. I just got to finish that guy off. That's good, yeah. I think if I was running Criminal Syndicate, which I hope to at some point, then I would definitely include that. 2 power only, yeah, definitely. And then we'll look at the character cards. Let's start with Daredevil. So we've got 5 health, long move, which is, you know, amazing in this game. Yeah, actually combine that with Wall Crawler. He has Wall Crawler anyway. So combine that with Wall Crawler, he's flying across the table. 2 height and 4 threat, which is more expensive than I thought he was going to be. And I think he is quite a situational character, which we'll see. So defenses 3/3/3. He's got his normal strike attack, 2 range, 5 dice, no power, gains power equal to damage dealt, and on a wild can cause stun, which is good. Baton Hook, range 4, 4 dice, and no power, ignores line of sight, and characters do not benefit from cover, and it can push a character size 2 or less on a wild, and can push towards this character small. So you pull them in. And then we've got Devil's Deliverance, area 2, 2 power attack. Ooh, that's not very good. 5 power for a 2 power attack. This attack adds 2 dice to each of its attack rolls for each non-dazed enemy character within 2 of this character when this attack was chosen. Oh, it suddenly got good. And after this attack resolve, this character is pushed away. The target character is pushed away from this character small. So guaranteed push. Drop him on an objective and push everyone else away. Scenarios like Gamma Shelter, where people tend to be huddling around. Great attack. It's expensive, but if you can pull it off, you know, that's potentially quite a few dice and a lot of pushes. So he should be scoring you some points on sort of the objective based ones where you're huddling around them. Man Without Fear, after an attack targeting this character is resolved, this character may use a superpower. If the attacker is within 2, this may make a strike attack targeting it. So just for 2 power, just to get a revenge sort of punch in. Radar Sense, when defending its physical or energy attacks, this character adds blanks to its defense rolls in its total successes. So we've seen on other characters where they get to add blanks. It's huge. He doesn't have a hugely high defense pool, so that's really good. Injured side, he goes up to 6 health. His attacks all stay the same. However, his superpower changes from Man Without Fear to the Devil of Hell's Kitchen. Still 2 power. This character may immediately form an attack with a power cost of 0 against an enemy character within 2. After this attack is resolved, if the attack contains any skull results, this character then suffers 1 damage. This superpower can only be used once per turn. So essentially for 2 power you get a free attack. So it's not a reactive superpower anymore. So that seems very, very good. He's got Wall Crawler, he's got long move, he's got crowd control, he's got average defense, but he does get to add his blanks in, so he's going to be sticking around a bit longer than he would otherwise. Still think, personally, 4 threat is 1 too many? Maybe? I don't know. Until you've tried him, obviously, you know, you're never going to be too sure. But I'll definitely be giving him a go and trying him out. So, that is Daredevil. We'll take a quick break and then we'll come back and look at Bullseye. So Bullseye, Benjamin Poindexter. We've got 5 health, medium move, height 2, 3 threat, 3/3 on the defenses. So again, fairly average defense line. He's got his throwing knives, range 4, 4 dice, no power. Defending character does not benefit from cover. Once attack is resolved, character gains power equal to damage dealt, and on a wild it can cause bleed. So not bad as basic strike, range 4 is really good. Pincushion, this character, 4 range, 5 dice, 4 power. Defending character does not benefit from cover. After attack is resolved, this character gains the bleed condition. And rapid fire, after this attack is resolved, this character may make an additional pincushion attack without paying the power cost. The additional attack must target the original target character. The additional attack does not have the rapid fire special rule. So a 10 dice attack essentially for 4 power. Well, I say 10 dice. It's 5 dice twice because obviously they get to roll defense against each one. So not as good as 10 dice. Hit and run, 2 power. This character immediately makes an action followed by a move action. An attack action followed by a move action. This superpower can only be used once per turn, and that is an action to use. I never miss. After an attack made by this character is resolved, if no damage was dealt as a result of that attack, this character may use his superpower. The target suffers 1 damage. So at least you've got the option of, if you completely miss an attack, which is dice, you know, his attacks don't have that many dice, you can just pay a power just to get an automatic 1 damage. And then parting shot, after an attack targeting this character is resolved, this character may use his superpower. The attacking character suffers 1 damage, and this character then may advance away from the attacking character small. So again, a nice way of just dishing out damage and getting away from a potential second attack. Because Bullseye doesn't really want to be getting hit too much. So I like his abilities actually. I feel like it doesn't, well, you know, it's what it is. He's not that exactly highly superpowered. So I'd like the fact that he can dish out damage on a couple of his abilities for, you know, fairly cheap power cost. And the extra movement that he gets from a couple of the abilities as well is going to be really useful. He definitely seems to be like the criminal syndicates, sort of sit at the back and just dish out the odd little bit of damage here and there, but it can be used to grab an objective as well, and just sort of get out fairly safely with his abilities. On his injured side then, we've got exactly the same stats, so another 5 health. His abilities don't change at all actually, so he's exactly the same on his days side. So yeah, Bullseye, 3 threat, I think definitely has a place in a lot of lists. He's not going to be dishing out that much damage, but he's definitely there, you know, he can finish off characters, and he's got his movement shenanigans and his sort of extra auto sort of damage abilities. So he definitely wants a bit of power generation. I feel like that might be an issue with him. I might be wrong there. But with his low dice attacks, I feel like he's not going to be getting too much power quickly. So, be interesting to see. Be interesting to see how he plays. So let's now take a look at Kingpin's pack. I've got a bit sniffy all of a sudden, so I apologise. So tokens. I want to say that's stunned and staggered. And we have a couple of tokens there, so we know he's going to get a crisis card because he's got a couple of the bigger tokens. Which usually mean crisis card. Only 2, interestingly, as well. So we'll see what his crisis card is. And his tactics cards. So, we've got a few cards here. There is indeed a crisis card. Let's have a look at the tactics cards. So, all according to plan, Criminal Syndicate, reactive. During the power phase, any number of allied Criminal Syndicate characters may spend power to play this card. If 10 or more power was spent to play this card, take the priority token. I mean, if you're playing with a lot of characters, if you're playing with a lot of low power characters, then you're probably not going to be getting priority. Because what is it? If you play the last character, whoever played the last character in the first turn doesn't get priority the next turn. Realistically, 5 or 6 characters, you're going to be playing a couple of power each to take priority. It seems expensive. Awesome artwork on there though. I don't know. Going first obviously can be really, really important, so maybe later on in the game, I don't know. I don't know if that's worth it. Someone tell me if that's a good card, because right now I'm not sure. Hired Muscle, unaffiliated. Any character may spend 1 power to play this card. Each civilian token within range 3 of this character is placed within 2 of its current position. I mean, that's only useful in some scenarios. I'm trying to think how many actually use civilians now. There's definitely... I don't know. Interesting. I wonder if that is an indication that there's going to be some more civilian things coming. Otherwise, I feel like that might be a very, very limiting card. Could be really good. The fact you can move, potentially move objectives, but okay, well, interesting. Shadow Organization, Criminal Syndicate, reactive. During the power phase, any number of allied Criminal Syndicate characters may spend 2 power to play this card. Enemy characters within 2 of characters that spent power to target them. Oh, sorry, enemy characters must be within 2 of characters that spent the power to target them with the attacks this round. That's really good. Shuts down some of the range characters really, really well. Yeah, I would say that's probably the best card of the 3 so far, although I'm happy to be proven wrong. Lamppost. And we've got his Crisis card. It is a secure objective, 16 threat. Mayor Fisk vows to find missing witnesses. Place 2 witnesses, civilians, there we go, on the points near each board edge as shown on map C. Players score 2 VPs for each witness they are securing during the cleanup phase. During the cleanup phase, each of the witnesses may flee. Starting with the player with priority, each player places all witness tokens secured by their opponent within 2 of their current position. Each token may be placed this way only once per round. Then each character within 1 of a witness suffers 1 damage and gains the stun special condition. Okay, that's cool. So they're going to be moving. So there's only 2, but they are going to be moving around. So the hired muscle card definitely becomes important, and also they can do damage. The witnesses are panicking and stunning and damaging characters as well. Interesting. I quite like it. And then we have our Criminal Syndicate affiliation card. We've got Kingpin, Bullseye, Taskmaster, Black Cat, who we don't have yet, Crossbones, MODOK, Killmonger, Green Goblin, and Mysterio. So they've got a decent list of characters there. And with the exception of MODOK, they're not super expensive characters. I'm trying to think, is there anyone else over 4? I think 3. I think Taskmaster's 3 off the top of my head. Black Cat, I imagine, is only going to be 2, maybe 3. Crossbones is 3. MODOK's 5 or 6. Oh my god, I haven't looked through the cards in ages. Killmonger's 4. Green Goblin, was he 4 or 5? And Mysterio, I'm going to guess at 3. But so there's definitely the option of taking a large Criminal Syndicate list and getting a lot of characters into scenarios. I think you could be looking at 5 or 6 at least, probably. I know 5 is pretty average anyway. So, Kingpin. What do we have for you, Wilson Fisk? Apart from an awesome model and 7 health, 5 move, small move, height 3. He's a big guy. 4 threat, defense, physical 4, 3/3 on mystical and energy. So yeah, it's to be expected that he's a bit more resistant to physical attacks. He'll just walk up and headbutt you. Range 2, 5 dice, 0 power. After the attack is resolved, his character gains power equal to damage dealt. On a wild, you can stun or push. Yeah. He has a cane laser, because of course he does. Why else would it be on the model if it wasn't a weapon? A beam, range 3 attack, 4 dice, no power. Ignores line of sight, and they do not benefit from cover. Not strong, but if you catch a couple of characters, it might be decent. Hail to the King! Range 2, 7 dice, 3 power. Before damage is dealt, this character may throw the target small. After the attack is resolved, the target character gains the stagger special condition. Very nice, Wilson, very nice. He is the leader of the Criminal Syndicate, and his leadership ability is Illicit Network. Once per turn during an allied character's activation, it may spend 2 power to use this leadership ability. Move 1 asset or civilian token being held by the active character to another allied character within 3. A character cannot hold more tokens than allowed for the crisis due to this leadership ability. Additionally, each healthy allied character contesting an objective counts as 2 healthy characters when determining who is securing the objective token. So that's really good because you get the benefit of being able to move your tokens around. If one particular character is under threat, you don't think he might drop the token. You can pay the power to shift it over to another one, and also the fact that you are counting every allied character as 2 for securing objectives is very strong. Now I think I was watching a battle report where the opponent chose an objective which wasn't an asset or civilian token to shut down that ability, which is a good move. Anything like that makes you sort of think about what cards you're choosing, especially on like the scenarios and things. Are you going to come up against Criminal Syndicate? Do you want to be able to shut them down? You might want to take a couple of objectives that aren't using the asset or civilian tokens so that they can't start shifting them around. So it's something to think about. Street level negotiations. Choose an interactive terrain feature or an enemy character, both of size 3 or less, within 2, and throw it medium for 2 power. Nice. Intense physical conditioning. If this character would suffer damage, it may use a superpower, reduce the amount of damage by 1. That's good. 1 power to reduce damage by 1. Solid frame. This character does not suffer damage with collisions with other characters. So start throwing away. Just throw them into Fisk. He will take it. On his day side, still has 7 health, still moves small, still is all the same there. Obviously his leadership ability doesn't change. Nothing changes. So he's a 14 health character total. He's a bit of a bruiser, can dish out some, I would say, some fairly decent damage. He's got his throws, he's got his pushes, he's got his stuns and staggers, and he can take a bit of a beating as well. So yeah, definitely a bruiser level character. The small move is painful, but he's on a bigger base, so that does help. But I do like his leadership ability, especially in obviously some scenarios, but in others, like I said, it could be negated a little bit. But Criminal Syndicate do look very interesting. I definitely would be keen to see more of them on the table. What have we got now released? We got MODOK, got Taskmaster, got Bullseye, got Kingpin. Who else was on there? Was it Killmonger as well? Okay, so definitely, and Crossbones. So I've definitely got enough character, and Green Goblin in fact. So I've got, all bar Black Cat and Mysterio ready to go to try these guys out. So yeah, it's not like some of the other affiliations where you're sort of waiting for the releases. So apart from obviously Black Cat, Mysterio there. So yeah, give it a go. It's time to get these guys painted up. So I look forward to seeing you in another video.